Hi. Today we're playing with we're playing with action figures, which basically is the same as a doll, except with a different name. Yeah. No, but seriously, this episode is about G.I. Joe. Well, the adaptation of the TV series of the action figures, the adaptation for the Commodore 64, I should say. RetroKork. G.I. Joe was invented in 1964 as a counterpart to Barbie dolls, which basically means, hey, let's take these dolls and sell them as a boy toy. And in 1984, when the TV series was already running, and we already had the G.I. Joe's vs. Cobra scenario, well, Epyx created the Commodore 64 and Apple II game version. Now, the game can be played alone, with the player just controlling the G.I. Joes by using the joystick in port 2, or you can play it as a two-player game in which the Cobra player has to be the first to move his joystick in port 1. Otherwise, the game assumes it's nothing but a single-player experience. Anyway, you get to choose from an array of characters, 12 on the G.I. Joe side when you're on foot, and 8 as Cobra. Oh, and there is some sort of vehicular combat, for which the G.I. Joes get to choose one of 4 vehicles. But more on vehicular combat later. The game itself, well, you start out with a world map, and it can take place, the game itself, in various locales. If you're on foot, you can end up in one of 4 different environments, namely the desert, in which the players can get aerial support if their helicopter is in the sky. Note that the gunner in the chopper can't end up hurting his or her teammate. Oh, and the cacti are actually usable as obstacles to keep you from getting hit. The next environment is the city, where there's a robot on the loose, and of course there are obstacles. The robot may chase your character. You can try keeping the robot from yourself by shooting him, but with each hit, the robot speeds up a bit. The Arctic, in which you encounter a small vehicle that shoots bullets at a random player. And finally, there's a Cobra outpost, a Cobra base, where the Cobra on the screen, on the central screen in the background, will shoot at the player controlling a G.I. Joe character. Vehicular combat, on the other hand, is shown from the top down, and it may require actually both players to cooperate in moving around the vehicle. Just saying. Oh, and it's a game that you can end up playing for pretty much all eternity. Seriously, if you lose enough characters to go below 3 characters on your side, you actually regain a random character. I enjoyed this game quite a bit when I was younger. When I didn't really understand the concept because I hadn't seen the G.I. Joe show. I wasn't aware of it. But even today, it's a good game, I think. As they say, now you know. And knowing is, well, you know the rest. In 2 weeks I'm going to look at a side-scrolling shooter called Action Force. And looking at preview screens, it actually looks a lot like it would fit in with G.I. Joe.